Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Blessing again. Have you missed me? Because I have missed you too. If you haven't missed me, you need to go and sort it out. A lot of you said you wanted to see some Yoruba movie content, so I thought the best way to start off with is to put something out. If you guys like it, let me know and I'll do more of it. If you guys don't like it, let me know and I will not do it again, and I'll find a different way to talk to you about Yoruba movies. So I have 4 movies to tell you about today and to suggest to you to watch. Now listen, I have been watching Yoruba movies since I was a wee child, okay? A wee child. I honestly believe a big part of why I can speak Yoruba is because of Yoruba movies. So I think just watching Yoruba movies, my Yoruba just got better and better and better until it became just a normal part of me. So even when I stopped watching Yoruba movies, like, I'd already learned what I needed to learn from them, if that made sense. So when people ask me, you know, what's one way to improve my Yoruba, like, I always say watch Yoruba movies. Just watch Yoruba movies, because not only will you see how people actually relate in real life, not just like learning the language, but you actually see how they use the language, you pick up on slang, but also you'll get to see like people speaking Yoruba in all different types of situations. It just bangs. If you want to learn Yoruba, watching Yoruba movies is like one of my top 3 tips for improving your Yoruba. And also practice as they speak, practice with them. Like when you watch a movie, you're by yourself, so no one's judging you. But if they're saying a certain thing, say it after them. Like, make notes. Like, don't just watch for fun. If you're gonna watch Yoruba movies, because I'm telling you to, watch it properly. Like, get a notebook, make notes of new words you're learning, make notes of how they're using the words. If you have questions, make notes of the questions and come and ask me. This is what I'm here for. I'm an available resource. Utilize me. Yeah, so I 100% recommend watching Yoruba movies, and I thought I would start doing this segment on the channel. Maybe once a month I'll make a video telling you what Yoruba movies I think you should watch. Okay, so these 4 Yoruba movies that I've put together are good in the sense of, one, either they're subtitled like adequately well. Generally subtitles are poor and sometimes they misspell things, sometimes they get a bit lazy and they write the wrong word, but these 4 movies, their subtitles are actually okay, like they're adequate. And or the movie mixes Yoruba with English. So a lot of times when movies mix Yoruba with English, I find that it's easier and it helps people who don't speak Yoruba fluently be able to catch up. Basically, movies that mix Yoruba with English is a good way for you to kind of get into Yoruba movies without being thrown in. They put new videos out every single week, so you will never get to the end of the Yoruba movie barrel. That being said, they're only about an hour each, so it won't take you that much time. And of course, I'll link all the videos I mentioned down below. Either way, let me stop talking and let's get into the 4 videos, the 4 movies that I will suggest to you. So the first movie that I'm going to be talking to you about this week is Moni. Yeah, Moni, which is the name of the female protagonist or the female lead character. Her name is Monisola. So as a short synopsis, the movie is about a married couple. The woman, she doesn't really like having sex. She doesn't want to do it, but her husband wants her to do it. And then they just take you on like an hour-and-a-half journey of how they resolve that particular situation. So first of all, I would say this movie is probably, if you're young, like if you're below the age of 16, then it's probably not for you. But if you're above the age of 16, then you will find the movie funny. It just seems like such a ridiculous notion. The scenes are ridiculous. Like, you have to give me a head. I want my wife to give me a head like a lollipop. It's it's funny. Okay, so it's a funny movie and there's a lot of ridiculous notions. They end up going to the doctor. The doctor tells them that if she doesn't do that, he will get seriously ill. It's a lot. So if you're looking for something that will make you laugh and at the same time like help you kind of see what you'll see how Yoruba is spoken between like a married couple and friends, it's called Moni. Check it out on YouTube. I'll link it down below. I would give that movie a good 6.5 out of 10 just because it made me laugh so much. Like, I was watching it at the airport and I was just like, what's going on? Like, what kind of a movie is this? Ridiculous, but like a good ridiculous, if that makes sense. The second movie is called Aworan, and this one is actually it does deviate from the typical wife does something wrong, husband cheats narrative. And this one is about a widowed man, so a widower, whose wife died, but he still has a very close connection to his wife. And so he hangs her picture in the living room, and he relates to the picture as if she was still alive. So when he's leaving in the morning, he'll talk to the picture of the wife as if he was talking to the wife. Like, he doesn't do anything without talking to the picture, which is the name of the movie, Aworan. It means picture. So his son is obviously like, this is not okay, we need to do something, we need to get my dad out of this like obsession with my dead mom kind of situation. So he's trying to bring different women to seduce his dad and stop him from being obsessed with his dead mom. So basically the premise is that the dad is obsessed with the dead mom, and the son and those around the dad are trying to get him to like move on. And so that's the premise. I won't spoil it for you, but that's the general gist of the story. This one I think is a good story, is a good movie, because obviously it's different from the usual and it was interesting, but it gets like about halfway through it just gets ridiculous, and not the good ridiculous. It's just like, what's going on? Like it gets silly halfway through, and then like it just ends on a cliche type note. So I mean, it's a good movie in terms of you'll learn Yoruba, and it's got a good mix of English in there, and like it's got good actors to some degree. So I'd say definitely watch it, but it starts to go a bit left halfway through. So I probably would give that a 5 or 4.5. The third movie is called Ile Olowo, right? And this one, the second part is actually not out yet. It might be out by now by the time I put up this video, but as at the time I watched it about a week or two ago, it wasn't out. It's called Ile Olowo, and what happens is there's a woman, and I think she's supposed to be like a gangster type mafia lord. She's very masculine, and she runs this organization where she's got like people working for her. They run like a house help agency. So she sends housemaids into the house of rich people, which is what the title of the movie means. Ile Olowo is the house of the rich. So she sends these women into the house of rich people, and then what she tells them to do, she pays them a lot of money to be telling her what happens in the rich people's homes. So they will go into the people's homes as house helps. They'll spy on them essentially and report back to her what's happening. She will then use that information to kind of create a scenario in which she's able to rip off the rich people. Okay, that's the basic storyline. Yeah, so it's a really good movie, and it's very intriguing. Like where they ended it, I was like, ooh, okay, I wasn't that deep. I was like, what's going on? I want to know what happens next. It's very like unique. The storyline is different, and it'll actually keep you interested. The acting is good. The subtitles are fine. So Ile Olowo, you should definitely check that one out. After Moni, you should check out Ile Olowo. Ile Olowo is very good. I would definitely give that one a 7 out of 10. Okay, and then the fourth movie I'll be telling you about is called Yonusimi, and this one is a bit, it's okay. Like there's two parts of the movie. The first part was interesting, and I was like, okay. And the second part, it just takes such a long turn, and I'm just like, why are we here? I lost interest. Like, I had to watch the second parts in 2 parts because I wasn't interested anymore. But basically the premise of this one is that there is a maid called Yonusimi, and then she works in this house, and basically the father in the house is abusing her. He's having sexual relations with her, and his son is also having sexual relations with her. So they're both having sex with her. She does not really want to, but they kind of pressure her into doing it, and there's something about it that you will find out when you watch the movie. I won't spoil it for you, but essentially she eventually runs away from the house, and then like a series of events ensue. She runs to the ghetto, goes and lives in the ghetto, and then the movie just progresses from there. I honestly think it's a movie that should have just been 1 part. It didn't need to be 2 parts, 1. And 2, I just think, again, I feel like they start off really good. They have a good concept, but then they get lazy, and the movie, the middle to the end of the movie just veers off and gets boring. And that's what happened in this movie. I still think it's an interesting movie to watch, but it'll be good if you want to kind of get an insight into like the ghetto life in in Nigeria and how they speak there and the slangs they use there. That's why I'm recommending it. If you want to know what that's like, definitely watch it. But as a movie on its own, I was quite bored by the second part, and I probably would give that like a 5 out of 10 or 4.5. It wasn't amazing for me, but like I said, you might find it interesting, and the concept itself is interesting. I wish they'd gone somewhere else with it. But anyway, those are the 4 movies that I will recommend to you this month. 4 Yoruba movies that I think you should watch. If you have watched any of them down below, or after you watch them, if you're gonna go and watch any of them, please go watch it. Comment down below and please let me know what you think. I love talking about movies and books with people, so please comment down below what you think of the movies after you've watched them. Let me know which one you're eager to watch, which one catches your attention, which one do you think, okay, this is a bit of me, this excites me. Let me know what movie you do want to watch, and let me know if you like this. Do you like me coming on here every month and giving you a list of movies that I think you might enjoy or that you should watch? Because I can make this a monthly thing, okay? And I can even make the reviews more detailed. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video.